Segment 3. Coach, you're going to have all the time right here. I'm going to start with you first. Put on the headset. The floor is open. This is the opportunity to tell me what you want to say. There's no script. Give us a rant. Give us a story, a prediction. Bring some heat, fellas. Starting with Coach Price, and it might be against me.
Well, I really don't have much of a rant, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Alabama and LSU, y'all relax. Just relax. It's early. You really got nothing to worry about. You got a few problems with your quarterback play in Alabama, but that's all right. Y'all got something that you can, work with and build around. All you're gonna do is just change up your scheme. But I wouldn't worry about it. And as far as an LSU fan, I wouldn't be so caught up in it either. Y'all played an out of conference team who's a darn good team. Hands down, whether you like it or not, Florida State is a legit football team. So LSU, Alabama, y'all calm down. Neither one of y'all got nothing to worry about until November the 4th, and that's when y'all play each other. And I see right then and there that the winner of that game will be the ones that'll be playing Georgia in the SEC championship and still got a
Yep.
chance to make it into the playoffs if you happen to beat Georgia. So really to me it's not much of a rant. I understand how you can, get all caught up into it because it's your favorite team. Nobody wants to see their team lose. Nobody wants to see their team lose a big game. Nobody wants to see their team lose out of conference. But LSU, Alabama, y'all played legitimate teams. You didn't go out there and lay an egg on some scrub. Texas is for real. Florida State is for real. Don't be worried. November the
Yep.
4th, Alabama, LSU. Then we can start talking about the West.
All right.
Attaboy, coach.
Hey, Coach will talk you off the
Jared,
ledge, man.
I'm going to
Speak.
throw it to you, Jared.
All right, throw it to me. I'll catch it. Hey, listen up, guys. Man. College, look, it feels like it's 2007 all over again. You got Kansas and Missouri fighting for the number one team in the country. But man, I just looked at the top 10 again. And when's the last time Alabama's been number 10 in the AP poll? I can't remember. It's been a long time. When's the last time Florida State was in the top 5? Can't remember. When's the last time Texas was actually a relevant big time team? Can't remember. USC, same difference. Look, man, there's anybody in the top 10 at the end of the year can win the national title as of right now. If Ohio State actually figures out their quarterback situation, throw them in it as well. Man, I'm sitting here looking at it, and I really, between 1 and 10, I don't see that big of a gap. I really just don't. I mean, Georgia's got the defense, and Florida State's got a great offense. Michigan's kind of very well rounded. We saw what Texas can do. It's just wide open. And I think that's a really big relief. I mean, we looked at it at the end of last year, and you really had 5, maybe 6 teams that you actually thought could compete for a national title. Maybe. And that's if everything worked out perfect. Man, I could sit here and look at freaking Washington sitting down here at number 8 this week, and if you told me they were in the playoff, I would absolutely agree with you, no doubt about it. So this year is just such a relief for me, man. Every game is watchable. It's not like you turn on a game and it's an absolute blowout every week, man. All these, I mean, look at the slate next week, dude. If you're not sitting on your ass on the couch between hours of 12 and midnight next week, you're a loser. there's games all over the freaking place, man, against teams you never even thought would be that competitive. It's so exciting to me. It's such a relief. I'm a Georgia fan myself. I love seeing Georgia at the top. But getting to see these new teams back in action, and these are not, crap programs. And Florida State's a big-time program. Texas, like we talked about earlier, a big-time program, but they haven't been relevant in the last 10 years. They really just haven't. They haven't won shit. They haven't done anything. And now here they are. So your top 10 can win the national title this year. Coming on week 2. That's just a big relief for me, man. College football is back.
Hey, listen, I'm going to add to that real quick and get out of here. This is why I love this year's football. Because I get tired of the same old thing in college football year after year after year and the same old fans. I can't cuss like I want to because I'm going to be nice. but the same old fans doing the same old thing every single year. I'm tired of that. I want to see the mix up. You know, I don't mind LSU losing. I hate it, but I don't mind it because I love to see that love spread around. It's good when Alabama loses sometimes.
No, it's not ever.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It's listen. If when Alabama is on top and they just beating everybody, blowing everybody out all the time,
Beautiful world.
to a small group of people, and the rest of us, it's not a good product. This is what you're talking. This is what you're talking about, Jerry, right now. I love it. Any team, any week. Look at the pick'ems. We'll look at them, I guess, in a little bit. Man, every game. I mean, they could have just flipped either way. You know, even I still say everybody. And you know, I preached a great sermon against Alabama. You know what I mean? If y'all ain't heard my sermon, you need to listen to it. I trolled them a little bit, but I'm gonna tell you, even they still barely lost the game. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Look, I'm still, people about to be still scared of Alabama. But I'm so glad there's other teams there. And I used to have to wait a long time, all year long, if I got somebody to beat Bama's ass. And it happened already. It's like Christmas right now. And the only thing that would make it even better is somebody put a foot in Georgia's ass.
Don't say
I love
it. Hey, Barry, come on. The status quo's been great, man. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Yeah.
You know, Alabama winning every other national title. Everything's been happy. Davis Land over here has been perfect. You know, no problem.
I've been crying with the status quo, with rejoicing. I'm crying.
I feel like I'm living in some kind of damn different dimension today. You know, the SEC is 3-6 out of conference this year. You got Auburn being the SEC bell cow going out west to be a legitimate Power 5 school. I mean, we're hanging our hats on Auburn now, fellas. So, you know, my rant is just basically to Nick Saban. God love you. I love you. You know, I'd probably jump in front of a train for the man. But here's the deal. Take your little size 6 shoe and put it up somebody's ass on defense.
Come on.
I'm sick of it, you know. Take your players to the club, have them beat the hell out of somebody, get some charges filed, and tell them that's what you expect every Saturday. You know, just get it done. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of watching Alabama give up 60-yard bombs. I don't care if it's to the Buffalo Bills. I'm just tired of it. Get a PI or put a quarterback on his butt late. Let him know you're there. Something. Yep. You know, this is not hard. This is just somebody on that coaching staff has to get some fire. And I just don't see it. And it's really making it hard to be a happy fan right now.
I agree. Before I throw it to Craig, I'm gonna add to you, Kevin. I'll be honest, they need a big dummy like Forrest Gump on that team because they don't have anybody. You know, maybe it's almost like they need somebody without a brain that can just, you know, I don't know if y'all remember Festus from WWE, but they'd ring the bell and he would just go nuts. You know, like they need somebody like that. They got to hit a bell and just have a crazy person on defense. Honestly, they need a criminal on defense, just like you mentioned. They need somebody that is not afraid to snap someone's neck on the field.
I think either Jared or Dylan mentioned earlier, Rolando McClain.
Yep.
That dude would punch a ref in the face during the game. He didn't care.
I mean,
he would murder somebody on Friday and get 14 tackles and 6 for loss on a Saturday. And I didn't care. I love the kid. So
it's like, you know, now that we're throwing it to Auburn and Craig, we talk about Nick Fairley. This man committed multiple aggravated assaults on the field. I mean,
uncalled
he should have
penalty
been in prison for what he did in 2010. He killed Aaron Murray.
Yep.
Killed him. I don't know how he's alive. It's almost as worse as when Aaron Murray was blindsided at Alabama in the SEC championship game. Aaron Murray has to have CTE. There's no doubt about it, and it's from those boys in Alabama. But you're right. They don't have anybody like that, KD.
None of them were called. Got them cartilage
That's
bones.
right. You are
He
right.
got that ass beat for nothing.
And you know what, man? Depending on how Alabama finishes this year, it can be even worse next year. It's a leadership issue. And I'm sorry, I understand that Saban is. I consider him the GOAT too. I think he's a fantastic leader. I think he's passionate about what he does. But sometimes when you see in corporations, they get off a certain mentality, they get off a certain propaganda. And I really believe this. I don't know if you guys will believe this. And I hand it back to you, Dalton. I believe if you put put Deion in Alabama, the boys might be inspired. I'm not saying he's nowhere near a better coach than Saban. I'm not saying that. But sometimes it's not about that, guy. That we talk all the time about intangibles. We know they got the skill. We know they work out. We know they're doing all of that. What's missing? Inspiration. That's a leader's job. That's Nick Saban's job. That's what they pay you for. So if we're saying that Nick is unable to inspire his kids, then Nick is robbing the bank. He's not doing his job.
Me personally, I think that's got a lot to do with what KD was talking about earlier. It's about the support staffers and the assistant coaches, because Nick Saban's done enough. He don't have to be the guy getting getting these guys going. He needs to have his D-line coaches and his wide receiver coaches getting in these players' asses and getting them ready. But the problem is, you go out and hire a stale-ass Kevin Steele, it's up for debate how good of a DC he is, but, you need juice. And I just don't think the hires he's made bring that.
Yeah. The last time we seen Kevin Steele being a defensive coordinator was in Auburn, and that that was after several years of just being a high school defense, and that's not. But when Kevin Steele got to Auburn, they become dogs. That's when Auburn got really physical on defense. They're still giving up their points, but they try to hurt you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's Kevin Steele. I don't know. I think Nick Saban has a problem with assistants, getting good assistants, because I just don't think a lot of people want to meet his demands. So
what he needs to do real quick. He needs to get on the phone and he needs to call Ray Lewis. And he needs to call Ray Lewis and let Ray Lewis come in there and spend. Just hire Ray Lewis for the rest of the season. He ain't got to be coordinator, but he is the spirit animal out there. I guarantee you, everybody be afraid to play Alabama.
Yeah.
Hey, I know we mentioned murderers and criminals, but I didn't know you'd throw Ray Lewis in there after the controversy 2001 Super Bowl party. But
ain't nothing happened.
Yeah. Hey, he was proven innocent, I think. But that's what we'll go with on this show. We're going to throw it down to Craig and Auburn. What you got for us?
Yeah, Terry Tate, offensive linebacker, signed up at University of Alabama. I hear you.
Yeah.
Now, my rant's on Phillip Montgomery, man. I don't know how many guys stayed up and watched that game because it wasn't over till 1:30 in the morning. Couple takeaways from that. 2-quarterback system ain't going to work. It just ain't going to work. You can't get them in rhythm. And I think, it's obvious Peyton Thorne has better arm talent than Robbie Ashford. There's no question about that. But is Ashford a better game manager for Auburn? With the system they're running, that's tailback they got some dogs at tailback there. So they're gonna have to figure that out. The best player, the MVP for Auburn Saturday night was the kicker for Cal, because he missed 4 field goals. It was ugly. I could have done better than that, kick field goals. It was bad. Couple dogs out of that. Eugene Asante is a dog. That's that linebacker for Auburn. He had 12 tackles in the game, 10 unassisted, 5 hurries, or 5 tackles for loss. Harsin had him on the scout team last year. He's going to be a dog. He's a lot. Another dog on offense is Rivaldo Fairweather. Y'all remember that name? He's got a catchy name. Tight end, 6'6", 245 with a 44-inch vertical. He's the guy that caught the game winner. He's a dog. He's one of them transfer portal guys. He's going to be a dog. That's my rant. Is the difference between this was just, as an Auburn fan watching that game, it was just as upsetting as watching a Gus Malzahn coach game that he was supposed to win.
Oh,
Except we actually won it. That's the only difference. I mean, the Gus games, we lose those games 9 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I mean, Harsin would not have won that game last year.
No.
So.
I think that's a testament to Hugh Freeze, because like Bear was talking about intangibles. Them kids have bought in, man.
Yeah.
I read an article. They had this big Christian revival kind of thing at the Coliseum at Auburn, and Bruce Pearl was there, and Hugh Freeze was speaking. Two of the Auburn kids got baptized. They took them right across in the wading pond, and Hugh Freeze was there with them getting baptized. I mean, that's the kind of thing, and all the Bammers are going to scoff at this and say it don't mean nothing. Everybody, when they talk about that, they talk about family. That's the difference. It ain't a business, and maybe that makes us unsuccessful on the football field as Alabama, because we don't have a 4-foot-tall CEO running it. It's a different time. It's a different time down there. I think the over/under 6.5 games this year. I think 8 games is a great season for Auburn this year. 8 wins. I think 8-4 with that schedule puts a statement out there that hey, we're back in this a little bit, especially when you start developing some of Freeze's 5 stars he's stealing from everybody else over the next year. I think this is the first time. This is as excited as I've been about Auburn football in recent memory in over a decade, since Gus Malzahn's first year when they went play the national championship game, which I went to. You were talking about Jimbo Fisher. I hate that son of a bitch too. Excuse my French, because he was the head coach, and I was at that game. I went to see him in the Rose Bowl when they got beat on that last.
Shout out to Jemias Winston too for being good enough to overcome Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, good enough to overcome Jimbo Fisher. A lot of sketchy calls in that game too, but it is what it is. Auburn. I mean, Barry, to your testament, the only game they lost that year was LSU. And then lost to BCS. So I'm excited because this is the first time. The big problem that any head coach at Auburn has not figured out is getting the boosters in line, and there's a lot of money down there. And this is the first time in my memory, especially since NIL and all this other stuff came out, that the boosters and the NIL war chest, they're all on the same page. So I'm not calling watch out, we're going to win the national championship the next couple of years. I'm just saying watch out, because it ain't no fun to come to Jordan-Hare either. That's Alabama.
That's true.
So, it's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited about this year. I think we sneak up on one of the 3 big ones this year. I think we beat a team we're not supposed to beat, one of the 3. And we'll see from there. And, the last one's a Jordan-Hare, just saying.
Man, I love to hear such a nice, calm, cool, collected fan. I like y'all Auburn folks. I like y'all. It must be something to do with them Tigers.
It's them Tigers. That's what
it's them Tigers.
Them Tigers.
Well, we've been talking about dogs all night, so let's throw it to a dog.
Oh, time for me to go to sleep.
Let's hear the rant.
And it's funny you say that, because my rant's about them dogs. Look, Jared and Barry, y'all was talking about parity in college football. And there's some merit to it. I get it. A lot of these SEC's looking bad right now. A lot of these other teams are showing out. But if y'all want parity, y'all gonna have to wait till next year, because Georgia's about to stomp through this schedule. While I'm ranting about my dogs, I'm also telling the fans to relax. We got a lot of Georgia fans already on Mike Bobo, already on Carson Beck. Why do we have slow starts to this game? Look. Georgia is a banged-up team right now. Our best running back, Dejon Edwards, has not played, missed most of fall camp. We're having to put a wide receiver at running back who is hella nice at running back, but still, that's the situation we're in at running back. Our best wide receiver, who missed most of fall camp, who still haven't played, Lad McConkey, still out. Our best overall defender, in my opinion, and best linebacker, Smael Mondon, is limited. He's played under 15 snaps both games. So we're a very banged up ball club right now who's going to take some time, but by the end of the year, we're going to be clicking if we can stay healthy. And on Carson Beck, people got to realize he has started 2 games in his career. He's going into his 3rd start ever.
Yeah, we know he sucks.
Yeah, we'll see. look, he's thrown for 290 against who? Yeah, the school of the blind. I get that, but this guy's going to improve. He's one of those. Look, Kirby's talked about it. He said he is the smartest, most intelligent quarterback he's ever been around. The way he breaks down film, the way he goes about the game. I think we may see some struggles early, but I think by the end of the season, you're going to see a Carson Beck who's, throwing for 75+%, over 300 yards, like killing it every game.
Yeah.
And that goes into my poem of the week, because that run starts.
Welcome back.
That long run that we're gonna have this year starts this week with South Carolina and my hatred for Shane Beamer. All right, y'all ready for it?
Yep.
Georgia would beat South Carolina even if all they did was walk. But Shane Beamer is like AM radio. He's all talk. He's about to beat the hell out of these boys in Athens. Gonna smack them.
All talk.
Let's go.
Sometimes we miss Dylan and his poems because he's cutting trees or calling under houses like last night. But that's what we look for every week. I hope to have a poem of the week from Dylan Brooks, and that was a good one. We're going to throw it to the last segment. I think Coach Price is back. Something about Georgia Power turned off his Wi-Fi, and he went outside and tried to beat him up. So Coach Price is back.
JP.
No, actually, it's somebody's drunk grandmama ran over, looked like a transporter. I think she stole your bottle, dog.
That's what happened when you always chasing cougars.